Okay, so I'm walking into work and it's teeming down. I'm soaking wet, even with an umbrella. It's probably going to be no customers in the shop because if you've got a choice, why would you come out in this? Definitely going to be one of those days. Welcome to day 9 of Vlogtober. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I haven't really had the opportunity to record anything today, but as you can see I'm at work, so I thought I'd just record my little intro. Not quite sure what I'm going to do for today's Vlogtober, whether I'll have enough bits and pieces to kind of edit together for a follow me through my day, or perhaps when I get home I might sit and spin and knit and answer a couple of questions. We'll see. It will all become clear, I promise. Maybe. I just thought I'd quickly show you what the shop, the retail premises is looking like at the moment. I've added some of the new books that came in yesterday, so if you watched yesterday's Vlogtober you will have seen me unpacking some of the books. I managed to get a few on the website this morning before I came out to work, but I've still got a few more to pop up on the website. But I think my space here is looking pretty nice and cosy, so I thought I'd just give you a quick tour. On the desk here, along with my ubiquitous everywhere hand sanitizer at the moment, I've got my little basket of Christmas yarns with the free Christmas pattern. I've run out of the Christmas sock books at the moment, so I do still have a copy of the other Winwick Mum sock book, so that's just on display until I get my order of the sock books back in. And then I've put one of the new Kerry Lord books up here, the Christmas book, and it's quite fun. If I flip this over, didn't really chat too much about it yesterday. Hope you don't mind this shop talk, but it's kind of based on the 12 days of Christmas, and there are different characters representing the different days in the song, which is really quite sweet. And then obviously I've got my main sort of set of yarns over here, which I'm busy stock taking and tweaking at the moment. I'm hoping to change some things up and pare some things down next week. Bit of a customer interruption there, so I've still got some yarn on the counter there, but I'll carry on. So yeah, I've got one of the Kerry Lord books sort of in an empty cubby there. Got some of the Saltwater books up on display over here, and then a few of the other new publications on the top there. And then I'm not sure how recently I showed you this side of the shop, but I filled out this end with all of my needles and accessories and bits and pieces. Don't have any straight knitting needles here yet, so I've still got a space down the bottom of this display cabinet. I'm thinking about bringing a basket and just having my straight needles on display in there, as I've kind of run out of room here. So and then obviously you've got my Eucalan, some nice Rowan yarn, and then Miranda's hand dyed. So yeah, slowly adding, changing, tweaking the space that I have here. I'll pop back around this side of the counter because Rowley's, the other side of the shop, I've got this gorgeous display of Melon Trigwint, which is Welsh wool brand. They make ready-made goods and they're woven in a mill over in Pembrokeshire, woven in Wales. They've got all sorts of blankets and cushions and bags, and you might have seen on my other social media these beautiful sheepy doorstops, and this one I have claimed as my own. As you can see, I've decorated him up with some of the items from our community window display. So home now. It's about 5 o'clock. The sun's just come out. Of course it has, because I'm not out walking. getting drenched. Although I've come home to find. You comfy? Where's a look? Cat paws. I still have some work to do today. I just needed a 5-minute sit down in a comfy chair. And as soon as I sat down, I got some company. So my work day is probably not going to end for a little while yet. Is my company that boring? What's up, no tea? It's 6 PM and this is the first time I'm getting to sit and chat to you. It's been a very disorganised, discombobulated kind of day. Hopefully I'll be able to cobble some footage together to make a Vlogtober video today, but I feel like it might not be that cohesive, so I hope you can bear with me. I'm sure we all have days where we get to the end of the day and we wonder how we got there and what it is that we've actually done today. I've been busy working, of course, but I don't feel like I've achieved anything today. One of those days. So yeah, I've grabbed a cuppa. I'm tucking into a sneaky chocolate bar. Thought I'd just sit and chat with you for a little while. We're probably several minutes into this video. I'm not sure what I've got so far in terms of footage. I'll find out when I edit. But of course, I want to give a community shout out today to one of the lovely members of the Yarn and Yarns community. So today I'd like to give a shout out to Andy and Angela, who are the brains behind the Attic Spin Dye yarn company. And Andy and Angela have been very kind to sponsor prizes for our make-alongs before. I know that Andy does most of the dyeing and he dyes up some absolutely beautiful colourways. So I'll put a link to their Instagram page and also their Etsy shop below. I'd really love for you to pop over and check out some of the lovely yarns that they dye. They also make stitch markers. Perhaps you can hop over to Etsy and favourite their shop or favourite some of the items that they have in their shop. Give them a little bit of Yarn and Yarns community love. If you don't already follow them and you do hop over perhaps on their Instagram to follow them, then let them know that I've sent you across and let's give them some Yarn and Yarns community love. So I thought I might just quickly answer one of the questions that we had today, just to round things off and try and cobble together a few minutes of video. I'm knitting on my test knit shawl at the moment, so maybe we could do a proper knit and chat, and I'll just try and re-angle the camera a little bit so you can see my hands while I'm knitting away. We'll have a proper knit and chat. Hopefully that's a bit better. I'm conscious that it's getting on now. I'm going to lose the light soon. I know it looks quite nice and light and bright, but it's getting much more dull and grey out there. So I probably need to make this fairly quick. So Christine asked, who taught me, or how did I learn to knit? And I feel like this might be a question that I've answered before a little while ago, but we've had lots of new subscribers and I don't think I've talked about it recently, so I'm happy to share the story again. So I was taught to knit by a combination really of my gran and my mum. So my gran is my mum's mum. And I don't really ever remember a time of not being able to knit. Like, I don't remember the act of them actually teaching me. I remember getting help from them for various projects. And my other gran, my dad's mum, could knit or can knit as well. So I'm fairly sure that she would have helped me at various points too. I've got a picture of my gran and a picture of my mum, although the picture I've got of my mum is when she was a little girl, so but I thought they might be fun to share with you. This is a picture of my gran and granddad with me as a little baby. Check out my hat, isn't that awesome? So this is probably taken in 1977. I was born in 1976. Don't think I look that old there. And the weather's quite nice. I was born in August, so I'm thinking maybe in 1977. I'm not sure. There is, just sneaking into shot, a picture of a hand knitted toy there. My gran was an avid knitter, so it's my gran Ethel. And I have a picture of my mum when she was a little girl, on a beach with a sheep. And I've always wondered what the backstory is, but I didn't find this picture till after my mum passed away, and my gran passed away less than a year after my mum did. So I don't really have anyone on that side of the family to ask why on earth there was a sheep on the beach, but evidently there was. I can't remember a time when I couldn't knit, and as I say, I don't remember specifically a time of being taught to cast on or knit specifically. I remember knitting quite a lot of scarves and bits and pieces for my teddy bears and dolls, as you do. And then the first kind of bigger project that I remember making, if you're a knitter of a certain age, you will be well aware of these patterns, and you can still get them. The Jean Greenhow patterns, and I knit one of the clowns, if you remember that pattern, and I knit the clown with the painter and decorator outfit, and I think there was a knitted ladder and paint pots and brushes and stuff to go with that as well, if I remember rightly. That was quite an undertaking because there was lots of little bits and pieces in there, and I'm pretty sure that I remember handing it over to my mum to sew up. So yeah, Mum, if you're listening to me anywhere, thanks for helping me. I don't have that clown anymore. I'm sure it got given away or thrown away, one of our various moves. And I knitted into my teens, and then I took quite a long break from knitting. I moved more into cross stitch and quilting, and a little bit of machine embroidery and some paper crafts for a while. My mum was an avid cross stitcher towards the end of her life, so I kind of wanted to be like my mum. So I did quite a lot of cross stitching, and then I came back to knitting just around 10-15 years ago. I'd split up from a previous partner. I'd moved into a tiny little flat and didn't have room to keep my sewing machine set up, so I picked up the knitting needles again and just haven't looked back since. I've been avidly knitting again ever since then, until 3 years ago when I accidentally found myself owning a yarn shop. I wonder what 10-year-old me knitting away on her toy scarves would think if I'd have told her that she would one day be knitting obsessed and owning a yarn shop. Crochet I came to much later in life, probably around about the same sort of time that I picked up knitting again. A lovely friend of mine, Sue, we were both part of a embroiderers guild, I guess, a stitching group, a lovely group of ladies who did a few exhibitions around their sort of embroidered and stitched pieces, and I'm not sure if maybe someone had included a bit of crochet in one of the pieces they were making, and I think I mentioned that I'd like to learn to crochet, and Sue said that I could go to hers and she would teach me. So I'm pretty sure I shared my first piece of crochet earlier on this year, maybe during lockdown, when I was recording pretty much a video a day, because I found it quite recently, dug it out, my wonky collection of granny squares. And as you know, if you watched for any length of time, I do love crochet, but my wrist doesn't always love crochet, so I'm not able to do that quite so much as I am knitting. So yeah, that's the story of how I learnt to knit and how I learnt to crochet. Hopefully that answered the question, Christine. If there's anything you want me to expand on or anything, then just let me know. I think I'm going to wrap it up for today. It's been quite short, but I feel like I've rattled through, but I'm sure as always I've managed to talk the hind legs off a donkey, and this video will be longer than I think it's going to be. I'm nearly at the end of my row, so I'm just galloping along trying to finish, so I can put that down, grab my cuppa, grab my chocolate. It's quite a nice way to start a Friday night, isn't it? Thanks for bearing with me through today's vlog. Like I say, I feel like it might not be that cohesive, but some days it's like that, particularly when you're trying to record every day. I should have a little bit more time tomorrow. I'm only working for a couple of hours in the morning, so yeah, hopefully we'll be back strong tomorrow with something a little bit more organised. I hope you've got a lovely weekend planned, and with any luck I shall see you here again tomorrow. Night. So that was my mum and my gran. Oh, for God's sake. What? Chewing chocolate on screen is not an attractive look. Finish your mouthful first. Oh, gone.